A morning just like any other. Birds chirping, squirrels running, flowers blooming. On a day like this, no one would suspect the body of Sir Reginald lying on the floor, lifeless, surrounded by nothing but the remnants of his past life.
Cause of death?
Seems to be a case of some nasty pie. A taste so lethal it killed him.
What's the stitch, Suzanne?
Seems to be a mean case of antifreeze. Took him out so fast he didn't see it coming until he took his last breath. But who would do such a thing?
Excuse me. How can I help you? And may I ask who you are? No! No! No, not my dear Reginald. My love! No!
I'm sorry this is too soon, but I'd like to ask you about that night.
Please, call me Clarice. Excuse me, ma'am. I wouldn't want my mascara on after all.
She was young, beginning of her 30s. Her presence made apparent to everyone as she had the ability to stand out naturally. A successful woman, in fact, being the top actress in the business during her prime. Such a sad thing to be widowed so suddenly.
So it's true, isn't it? You know, it just feels so unreal.
So sorry for your loss. My condolences, sincerely. I can't imagine how you must be feeling.
I just feel like I'm just in one terrible nightmare. But I'm afraid this is too unimaginative.
Where were you the night of the crime?
I was out of town. I departed a week prior. You see, my agent called me to go to Hollywood for auditions. But as soon as I got there, my spot was already taken. Beatrice Bugsy, you may know her. She was in the film Lost in Paradise that came in last winter. When I got there, she secured it before I could. And when I returned home, well, here we are now.
Do you know of anyone who had any intent of killing your husband? Did he have any enemies?
None that come to mind. Everyone loved him. When I wasn't with him, he had to an old diner at Moonlight Ave. You may know it. Sally's place. All he'd do there in the morning is just drink his coffee and read his newspaper. Decaf, like he had always preferred.
And that's how it ended up here, at a diner in the busy streets of Moonlight Ave, drinking a coffee like Reginald would have if he were still living.
You're not a regular. What brings you here?
I'm working on a case. May I ask if you know anything about Reginald Forrester? She was
What's
young,
there to know?
younger than Clarice, in fact. Her face bare, purple underneath her eyes, showing off the tiredness of her long working hours. What was he like?
Same as all the men that come around here. Drink coffee in the day, and leaving random women in the night.
This was much different than what Clarice had told. Had she lied? But why? Unless she was an actress after all. The innocent, clueless wife may have been a cold-blooded murderer this entire time. Oh my, I have to go.
You finally figured it out. Took you long enough.
The jig is up.
Goodness gracious! You caught me. My husband was something. A man of great wealth and fortune. Too bad he was nothing but a cheat. Tossing me aside as if I was nothing. That lying no good of a man. He even loved his pie more than he loved me. This time, however, it worked in my favor.
You had such a good career. Why risk it?
He had it coming. If I were to change back time, I'd do the same all over again. Only difference is, I changed the method of demise. His betrayal carried weight. Well, with his death was paid.
I have no choice but to take you in now.
Silly girl. You'll be doing no such thing.
Don't do this. No! And so here we are now, as I drink the hot beverage in front of me reading the newspaper. The headline reads, Hollywood actress to murderer. How things could have gone so differently. How all the death could have been avoided. It was all far too late now. What was done was done. Clarice was a starlet. She shined so bright, but the darkness of bitterness and hatred had consumed her. A tragic tale of a thoughtless man and a mad woman. Another cup of coffee, another case.